Unified welcomes you to the following presentation of the Midwest Esports Conference. Here at the MEC, we partner with schools all over the Midwest to create premier gaming experiences.
The most common angles that the operator plays. This is like second to only B long. Fight is likely having a leg shot, but they're too slow. Hariri lands a perfect headshot.
Laying in the damage zone and them on out. Going into A4, look at Sake. Laying in the middle.
Sake?
Laying in the damage. Going in revenge for their honey.
No way!
Sake Wabe! Get the quadra kill!
That was
great. That sounds fun, so I'll give it a chance. And then we ended up playing in high school the next 2 years together. We've been playing ever since. So he kind of taught me the game. We've been playing on a team since then, and then now we're in college, so we can't play together anymore.
We do love all the players, even the ones we shit talk. We love you all. We love you all.
Body Pluto looking for the plank. Trickster waiting, maybe looking for the steal. Pluto has his engage. The scatter of the weak comes through. Watch Levi though. Levi hasn't been touched just yet, but the damage is coming through. The melt line gets melted. Jinkwall on a killing spree, and all of Ottawa goes down.
Why? Those don't go in. It goes off the sidebar.
Starting to come out. The flash is popped. The rolling thunder is utilized to perfection. And now it's all on Thiessen, but Thiessen just keeps on going.
Welcome to the MEC. Enjoy the show.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to the final instance of league play for the Midwest Esports Conference. Rocket League. It's Kendo Slice alongside Captain Netsuka. We've been taking through the entire season. The regular season stops here. Cap, how are you feeling? You ready for some interesting games?
Well, it's somewhat bittersweet. One, because yes, I'm interested in like all the good games because again, the games only get better as the season progresses. But at the same time, the closer we get to the postseason, the closer we get to the end season, and then the season ends, and that makes me sad. But so again, it's a little bittersweet. You know, it's a little love loss here. But I am excited to see the games going on tonight, so that way we can finally determine how the postseason is going to shape out overall.
Of course, one thing that we could do to let you know just how everything is shaping up for the postseason is take a look at those standings. In the clubhouse, our Ohio Northern University, they are the solidified #1 seed. Seeding-wise, our next game, Miami University going up against Simpson College. Miami University 4-1. As long as they win this, they are solidified as the 2nd seed. But if Simpson College is able to upset them, Cleveland State has the ability to creep on up. So that'll be some of the answers that we get at the top. Not too much in the way of major movement on the standings on the docket for the day, but there is plenty of opportunity for these teams to finish strong their regular season, especially looking at Ashland University going up against Illinois College, still trying to get that first win on the regular season.
Yeah, and you know, right now I got to tell you, I'm looking at this standings here tonight, and again, it's not exactly what I expected. You know, especially coming off of the spring clash. You know, we got to see some really good gameplay coming from all of these teams, and I thought, you know, once we get back to the swing of things here in the regular season, you know, we would start to see things change up a little bit in the standings. But no, I got to say, this is pretty much how I expected it to go. Of course, with the top 5 being what it is, but you know, again, I just expected a little more coming from those bottom 2, Simpson College, and of course the Eagles down there. But again, still a little time to change those records. I mean, this is the last night, so now is as good a time as any to get a win on the board.
We do have, again, 3 matchups that are going to be high seed, low seed on the day. And Miami University, Simpson College, again, first one on the docket. Inverted, 4-1 versus 1-4. And Miami University just looking to close out the regular season in 2nd place. Risky, Fira, Owam been solid throughout the season, but Jay Crusher King, Barkley, and Hawkeye have looked solid at times. While they are 1-4, 6-13 on the game state, and at times they've shown a lot of promise, Cap.
Yep, that they most certainly have. And you know what? This is should be an interesting matchup just because, again, they're going up against University of Miami, a real contender for that #1 seed. Granted that it's already been taken by ONU, but there's been so many times where we have just seen absolute onslaughts coming from Miami. So again, I think Simpson College definitely going to have a tall task ahead of them. But if they do manage to pull out this win, then that's going to be huge because that is going to already set the tone going into the playoffs that Simpson College can take on these big Titans that are, you know, Miami and ONU, and I think that's going to be the type of momentum that they need going into the postseason.
In order to do that, they're going to have to play fearless. They're going to have to challenge often and early and try to set a pace that is different from what Miami University would like to do. And if there is one thing that I've taken from that midseason clash onward, Simpson College have really shown us quite a bit when it comes to their willingness to take challenges early and try to dictate the pace. So I think we might have a Simpson College game or two, but I have a hard time giving Miami of Ohio an L in the series column this time around.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm 100% on board with you. I mean, when it comes to Miami, Ohio, I tend to have a little bit of a biases because, in my opinion, you know, I think they're the #1 team in the MEC. And again, that's just my analytical opinion. But at the same time, you know, we have seen teams really pop off in the late game. There's not a single one of these teams that are undefeatable. Like any team here could definitely take a win against any other team. It just has to happen on the right day at the right time, and they have to be playing the right game. So here we are underway in game #1, and with 40 seconds gone, I got to tell you, it's just pretty much a stalemate so far, but that's to be expected.
You have to watch the double commits if you're Simpson College because they will lead to open up opportunities, and who else but Owam to put the first goal in.
Yeah, this was unfortunate here. You saw Hawkeye go, and then the follow-up there coming from J.K. Rusher King, unfortunately, did rush a little bit there on the flip, and it ended in a whiff, and that leaves an open net opportunity for Miami, Ohio, and it does not matter what the situation is. Miami, Ohio, when they see an open net, they're going to take it 10 times out of 10.
See how Simpson College adjusts to being down by 1 here early. We'll start off Loose ball in the midfield. Hawkeye looking to work this all the way through. Corner to corner, side to side. Shot towards the net. Phased out early, and that's what I'm talking about. It's so important to get on ball soon and early. You create a complete lack of offense for the opposite team when you're able to phase out some of the offensive touches that they'd like to get towards the net.
Yep, and still not much doing from Simpson College just yet. About a minute and 40 now gone. Simpson College still scoreless here to start things off in the first half. Miami, Ohio on the defense now, have to take control, looking for a redirect in the mid. Not going to be any good as this one goes right back out to the corner as Risky does get a decent touch out towards the mid for the cross, but it is cleared out by Simpson College, who right now are battling it out at the midfield line.
Oh, I like the bump attempt on the front end, and Arky does connect on the back end of the play. Chance for a 2v1. Arky not able to get around Fear, the last line of defense. Still a neutral situation. Deep in the box. Do they have the extra touch? No, everyone's gonna miss. This ball sent long. It's in, and that is a tragic 2-goal swing.
Yeah, it feels bad, but at the same time, you know, Simpson College, once again, they just sent everyone, including the kitchen sink. They threw everything at Miami, Ohio, and then they didn't leave anything in the back to play defense. And honestly, all it took was just that one touch, the long clear, and it went the distance and was able to find the back of the net. So, you know, that aggression, that heavy offense is a double-edged sword, and right now it's self-inflicting.
You can be aggressive, but you can also be careless at the same time. And while they were sending all the bodies, it did not end up going their way, and it just shows you how quickly things can transition back in this game that we love, Rocket League. Here comes Risky. Up 0 for 1. We'll get it to the sidewall. Jay Crusher King. Go slow. I like the thought process there. And this is going to allow Simpson College to move in.
Now, under the 2-minute mark now, time running out for Simpson College as they still have yet to find their first goal. In Miami, Ohio, it's insane to me because they're playing so much defense, and yet they're the ones that are getting goals on the board right now. I feel like every single goal that they get is coming out of transition, and take a look at this. Another one, Kendo. A fast break out from transition, from defense to offense.
Folks, you'll see on your screen, there's nobody home as far as the back end rotation goes, and I agree. They're not only sending everyone, they're sending the kitchen sink too. Simpson College, no strangers to that overcommit, but they're going to have to curb their enthusiasm in that offensive zone unless they want things to get worse.
Well, only a minute and 30, 3 goals now in the favor of Miami, Ohio. Still plenty of opportunity for Simpson College to strike back. That's plenty of time to get 3 goals on the board. Let's see if they can start getting shots on target as this pass is good, and the follow-up from OWAM is on target. Now 4 goals in the favor of Miami.
You know, they say when it rains, it pours, and then Hawkeye just unable to handle that touch in the mid. I say tragedy. At this point, the pouring rain is me crying. Somebody get on the ball.
Well, right now people are getting on the ball. They just all happen to play for Miami, Ohio. As you can see now, it is going to be Fyra taking the ball, looking for the down low pass on OM. It's good. It's a good pass. Follow-up shot not there, not like they needed it, as they continue to hold on to their 4-0 lead at the 1-minute mark. The follow-up off the backboard, nearly there, and the follow-up cleanup shot coming from Fyra is good.
At this point, there's not much left to say. I mean, 5 goals, 57 seconds on the clock. This one's going to be a tough one for Simpson College to swallow, but they are going to have to put together the fundamentals in this last minute. Search for solace, something I've seen really well conducted. Barkey on that back wall, the backboard specifically, has been foundational. If they can continue to make the rotation just based off of that, they might be able to go places.
And now you can see last-ditch efforts being made. I mean, 30 seconds gone. Well, 30 seconds remaining until the game is gone. A 5-0 lead in favor of Miami. We are beyond the realm of possibility. You know, usually we like to teeter the line between probability and possibility. Well, it's out the window. You know, again, we like to allot the 10-second Rocket League time theory. You give yourself 10 seconds per goal for a comeback in the realm of possibility of what has been seen through empirical evidence, but, you know, we're beyond that scope. So I think it's safe to say, Kendo, this one's going to go to Miami in game 1.
Oh, I agree with you. The question is, are we going to South America? I mean, I got my suntan lotion ready just in case. But with that time whittling down, I don't think there's time for niceties. One thing's for sure, Miami of Ohio did not come out nice. They are on the hunt early and often for goals to the tune of a 6-0 win.
Yep. And that tune is a lovely one to hear. I mean, an absolutely dominating victory to start out for Miami, Ohio, and I expected no less. Also, big shout-outs to production. Shout-out to our friend Hyper, again, for putting together this nice overlay for us. How lovely is that? Isn't that beautiful? It's wonderful. Is now we get to break down the stats, and again, the stats tell the tale. I mean, it's completely one-sided in the shot count, Kendo.
Yeah, it very much is. The thing that I do notice, you do see a little bit of even statistics for Simpson College. So you know that at the very least the rotation, everyone's getting their fair share of touch on the ball. What I worry about is when you get a one-dimensional offense. So I chortle to think that, a one-dimensional offense is going to hurt Miami of Ohio when they're up 6-0 in a game. But it concerns me when I see 8 shots to 5 for the rest of the team.
Well, we're not going to be wasting any time in game 2. 3 seconds off of the clock, and already Miami are on the board. Miami, Ohio is the definition of speed here in this series.
Today's edition of How Fast Can You Score? Miami, Ohio put up a fairly good effort. I'd be interested to know if that was the fastest goal we've seen all season. I feel like we've seen a 2-second goal.
No, I don't think that might have been. I think that might have been the week that I was out, because I do not recall a 2-second goal. I mean, again, we need to get the clips, but right now. Once again, Miami, Ohio just managed to find another goal in a matter of 35 seconds. So again, speed is the game for Miami.
Yeah, they are definitely no strangers to the scorecard at this point. They look to be continuing the damage. It's unrelenting what we have seen from them so far. Now the question becomes, what is Simpson going to do? And so far, 37 seconds in, nada. It's rough.
It is very tough, and you know the question is, what are you going to do in that scenario? I mean, the defender had the right read. The only problem is they got beat to the ball, and it's crazy how this one player off the kickoff with little to no boost is still able to get to the ball just as quickly as a player who has about half a tank. So again, what do you do to combat it? Because you can't sit back and wait for the shot. You really do have to play interception defense. It's just right now the pace of the play is just all in favor of Miami. They're just too quick.
I know I would like to see a little mix-up in possession. Too many of these touches by Simpson College have been one and done. They are aiming directly at a well-guarded net. Oh no! You have to make that.
Well, I mean, unfortunately for Simpson College, they are still scoreless here after a minute and 30 of play. Big demo coming from Fyra. Looking for the pass into the mid. Fyra up now, has an opportunity to score, but can't get the bumper on, as that shot is going to go down and by the wayside as the clock continues to tick right on down. And so far, it has nearly been a goal a minute for Miami, Ohio. Actually, no, it's more than that. What am I saying? It has been 2 minutes gone now, 3 goals in favor of Miami, and they are just playing keep away at this point, just maintaining possession as long as they can.
That is why I'm looking for Simpson College. Somebody to take control, command over the ball, find a couple back passes even to keep the control in their side. Here comes Hawkeye. Another loose touch that just doesn't seem to end up getting a follow-up. You've seen the bumps. They're there. You've seen the rotate on, which is occasionally there, and when it's not, it usually tends to go back the other way, with Miami of Ohio collecting a very smooth transition goal. They're going to collect a hot jumper here with this touch. Wow, what a pinch.
Yeah, I feel like everything is on the side of Miami, Ohio. Apparently even, I dare say, luck. Because it was a 50-50, and don't get me wrong, you know, there is some nuance to the 50-50, i.e., the 50-50 God themselves and the 90-10, etc., etc. But with that being said, that one was just a little bit too wild, the way it sprung off the crossbar like that to still go into the back of the net. So, yeah, I feel like a little luck was involved, but once again, it's just going in Miami's favor.
It's just in. Captain Atsoka suggesting the name change to Fira Burner for the rest of this series. As Simpson College, I like the fact they were able to work that one around. They still have a chance for a shot on, and Miami looking just a tiny bit sloppy in their own defensive zone.
I was about to say, can you tell that I'm a long-standing NRG fan? Yeah, there has yet to be a player that I think has really been able to take the title of 50 God or the 90-10. Fireburner, I think, was a one and only. And you know what? Maybe Fira Burner, or Fira just in general, can assume the title. Maybe we have found the lost king of the 50-50.
Maybe. It's yet to be seen, but I think the effort that we've seen so far has shown us there's potential. I know this much. Miami of Ohio, 10 goals to none through 9 minutes in this series, and I don't think they're done yet. Here comes Risky. Routine through the corner. And it will be jumped on yet again by Simpson College. It's what I keep saying, Cap. The ingredients are there, especially on the back end. Some brilliant defense. The initial challenges, especially off the backboard, have looked good for the Storm.
I mean, I'll be honest. I just think a big difference here is field positioning. Whenever you look at Miami, Ohio, notice that not one of their players is usually within close proximity to another. And when they are in close proximity, they are quick to spread out the field. Even right there, they were able to give possession of the ball away to their teammate, and then they immediately went to the other side of the net. They immediately went to the other side of the pitch. So I'm just not seeing that from Simpson College. I feel like they're getting in one another's way.
I think I have an evolution of that conversation. I think I'll save it for here in about 10 seconds, but I do agree with you. Finally, though, the Cap will break the ice. Simpson College with goal number 1.
My favorite part of that was the order of the words that came out is that I agree with you. Finally. That's how it came out. So yes, that is great. And speaking of great, Simpson College able to finally break the mold of what was a score drought. They do get their first on the board, and that's a good start to recover going into the next game, because between games number 1 and 2, you know, they were scoreless. Now going into game 3, they're able to break the mold, and now they should be able to come through in game 3 looking a little better. And you know what? Once again, Miami, Ohio, I don't think can look any better, at least so far. The way that they're playing is just absolutely phenomenal. Once again, you have that high score count. Risky alone with 7 shots, Wham with 1, and I can only imagine what the third was bringing to the table. And you know what? They're just all over the place.
Yeah, Fira also had their fair share. 2 goals contributed. So, despite not seeing it on the score chart at the moment, there was definitely involvement there, at least to the tune of 2. Hey, look at that. They jumped in at the last second, just almost like it was for us. But I want to say I agree with you, mainly due in part to the fact that a lot of the times, like, you're seeing Simpson with the challenges in a timely manner, but understanding the role as they go through, I'm challenging first, I'm challenging second, I'm challenging third. Once you get to that second and third, you have to think about the decision on whether or not, okay, do I have a chance in this challenge? We talked about the 90-10. A lot of the time, it's reckless challenges that lead to the 10. So for Simpson College, there may be a time where rather than the challenge, you want to turn that thing around, fake, shadow, and allow third in to get a much better, stronger challenge to push down through. And at this moment, we just keep on seeing that third rotation charging in, and it's open net city for Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, and this is where my argument comes from, that I'm seeing too much shadowing. You know, again, whenever you see a challenge, like you said, the reckless challenge, it's because there's a shadow behind them from Simpson College that what should be a single commit ends up being a double, because you're always shadowing. If you're always shadowing, then there's always going to be two players on the same play, on the same ball at the same time, and then once again, you leave yourself with an open net. In Miami, Ohio, they're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. You give them an open net, and they're going to take advantage. And once again, Miami, Ohio have a lead because of it.
Rightfully so, and Jay Crusher King going to miss out on a goal. Triple commit, and tripped up is Jay Crusher King. Another wham moment back the other way.
And a really good long clear going all the way downfield, and it was wham to catch their own clear there off the fast break, and after 59 seconds to be exact, there are now 2 goals on the board for Miami. Hold up, 3.
I do want to see the intricacy here, because Barkey misses the challenge. Does Hawkeye actually get ball touch? Yes, they do. So a little bit of own goal. If you're not going to let them score it, I'll take the goal myself on my own net. Granted, it's all horseshoes and hand grenades when it's counted in the stats. One thing's for sure, Miami of Ohio looking to blow game number 3 open, and it is a shout that they are looking to create. They are seemingly destined for a 5-1 regular season. But I'd like to see some of those ingredients come together for Simpson College. Can they get it all together at the same time? It's equated to a goal, and then equate to 3 of them here in game number 3.
And, you know, as a former competitor myself, you know, back in my tournament days, I can tell you there's an unspoken etiquette when playing in competitive tournaments, competitive leads, etc., whenever you're dealing with a deficit. And as someone who's been on the higher side and the lower side of the deficit more than the higher, I can tell you that there's an unspoken etiquette that you get 4 goals, and once you get the 4-goal deficit, that's when you begin to coast, that's when you begin to run the clock. So I think Miami, Ohio may be paying homage to that etiquette, at least for now. And, you know, we'll see how it goes from here on out. But once again, you see another double send, a double commit coming from Simpson, but they managed to hold on. They recover real nicely to block that goal.
That has been the theme of the Simpson defense. It's definitely something that's going to have to change as we start talking playoffs. But Simpson College still making good effort. They are remaining on ball with challenges. I say that as Barkey loses control on what could have been a decent offensive chance. All in all, though, as far as being forward-facing, the fundamentals definitely all there for the Storm. It's just not working their way, and they're just throwing too much sauce on it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Miami, Ohio, they're throwing all the right sauce on it. I mean, their touches are phenomenal, the passes are good, and then they manage to recover insanely quickly for the defense. Once again, you see Risky getting back to get the save and clear it away. As Simpson College still struggle to find their first here. Miami, Ohio, just running the clock down as we are now about 1 minute and 30 remaining here in game number 3. What could be the last of the series. As just a friendly reminder, Miami, Ohio is on match point.
A push on the ball down. So once again, find an extra touch. This is gorgeous from Fira.
Absolutely. And honestly, I don't know what was better, the pass or the shot. I mean, they both looked pretty good. I mean, you look at the pass from OWAM and it was like watching a quarterback throw a 50-yard bomb. I mean, it went all the way to the other side of the pitch, and then Fira was just there to reciprocate and put it on target. So again, just great teamwork and great communication coming from Miami.
Look easy as well, so not everybody can do that. You gotta love it when they can make it look easy for you. 1 minute left to go between Miami, Ohio and Simpson College, and it has been, well, for lack of better terms, Cap, one-sided. We may see another goal. We do. Now 16-1.
Yeah, that's the total scoreline?
That's the total scoreline.
I'll be honest, I was not keeping track. Should I start keeping track of that? Because that...
you don't have to, Cap. I always got that sort of stat in my pocket. But if you want to, it's good knowledge. Because at this point, it's just Miami of Ohio are giving us their very best flex. They can't really change their fortunes as far as the rank that they are looking at going into the playoffs. But they can definitely intimidate teams with a spot like this one.
You know what, that they can. And I mean, this has just been a good performance. And I think we would have seen a much more relaxed Miami, Ohio had it not been the game before playoffs. They don't want to get too lax before they head into the postseason. So I think they did, put on their try-hard hats a little bit throughout this series. As, again, they're going to be going up against some stiff competition coming to the postseason. And meanwhile, you do see a nice transition play coming from Simpson College to get a consolation goal right at the 8-second mark, as the time is just about up here in this series.
Well, the consolation goal, Simpson College, despite the fact that they've had a rough regular season, have given it a go throughout. And while they may go down to Miami University here, I get the feeling that we are not done seeing them put their best foot forward going into the playoffs. So pretty monumental was the score line against them. Credit to them, they looked like they weren't ready to give up throughout.
And you know what? That's, again, another good quality to have, is just not giving up, not throwing in the towel, constantly playing from the moment that the clock starts ticking to the moment that it stops. You have got to always be giving your all, and at the end of the day, you just have to accept the results and then learn from them. So that's what I hope to see from Simpson College. But for Miami, Ohio, once again, they're just making a big statement that they are going to be a team to watch going into the postseason.
Yeah, they are definitely a powerhouse, and power is something I do want to talk to everyone about, and that is the people power of esports events. Folks, people, power events, 1, and then 2, esports events, more than just a place to compete. It is about that experience. It's about the people that you meet, the friends and rivals along the way. One of the things I've loved, Cap, about some of these reads, and I go off the book just a tiny bit, but in between the breaks, I had the opportunity at one of the LANs to talk to a lot of the young student athletes about some of their experiences at LAN. And you go across the board, understand that the experience of a LAN is extremely crucial. It is a time for growth. I think Simpson College is a perfect example of just how much a LAN can affect your environment, because the way they came out of it afterward, they looked extremely good. Check it out, though. Exclamation point people power in the chat will get you one of our newest offerings, Mastering the Arena, People Power Esports. It's a fun read, but it helps you understand just how important that social aspect of a LAN environment can be, and how much our friends at Unified are bringing exactly that each and every time. It's the people that power esports. Speaking of people, I know we're going to most likely take a quick break. We're going to talk to one of the people, one of Miami University's own, here in just a moment. And we are back, Kendo Slice alongside Captain Otsuka, and we bring in Fira from Miami University of Ohio. Fira, how are you feeling about that win and going into the playoffs? How much does a win like that help the morale?
I think it means a good amount. I mean, I think we kind of had an expectation of the result beforehand, so I don't think it changed too much. But we had a game plan and we stuck to it. It feels pretty good. Get at the end of the season on the win.
Yep, and then we have the postseason right around the corner. Should be some stiff competition. And, I really want to ask, going into the postseason, what is going to be the practice regimen, if at all? Are you going to rest up before playoffs, or are we going to see some intense training? What is the plan for Miami, Ohio, between now and the postseason?
We'll probably just keep doing what we do right now. Just keep up our weekly practices, scrimming, and probably won't change much. Just keep up our same practice. Yeah, it's been working for us so far, so I think we'll keep it up.
Yeah, and one thing I want to ask you about your play style particularly, we got to see you out there and you were performing so well. Again, a lot of these in your face, in your grill challenges, a lot of 50-50s going your way. And it was funny because we were actually calling you Fira Burner, the 50 God, the 90-10. Do you think that you can live up to the title of the 50-50 God?
I think it just depends on how I want to play in the day. I think, to be honest, it's just kind of how my playstyle was today. I was feeling the octane. Because when I'm on Fennec, I usually don't play like that. It's definitely a placebo thing. But yeah, I was just playing on the octane. It's just kind of how I do it. So maybe if we need the 50s, I'll switch back to that. But yeah, how it goes.
I will say that with the victory there, y'all secure the second seed, which I'm pretty sure means that I have read all my statistics right. Going into the playoffs, Ashland University, you're going to have a revisit with them most likely. This one's going to be an oddball question. Give us some compliments about that Ashland University team. Maybe a potential challenge that you could see in your first round matchup.
Well, I will say some of their players, I don't know about all of them, at least some of them do seem pretty chill, so I think they can have the ability to just stay calm and just have fun, which I think is always the ability to create upsets on LAN. If you're having fun, it's always gonna create a different environment. So I think that's probably their strong suit. It seems like they're really chill, so they kind of have the ability to stay icy, I suppose, on LAN. So I think that would be their biggest strong suit against us, is being able to stay calm.
I love it. Being able to get in the mind of your opponent. Unsu's Art of War. You love little things like that. But Fira, let's send you off. Do you have anything you'd like to say before playoffs?
Good luck to everyone. We're gonna bring our best. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Thank you so much, and folks, that was Fira from Miami University of Ohio. So the Redhawks, they go into the playoffs, second seed. They look extremely solid. I mean, hard to shake a stick at a 16-2 victory. Is there anything that you noticed, Cap, going through what we just saw that might have raised a flag for you, concern potentially for the Redhawks?
For the Redhawks, no. I hadn't even made the statement during the matchup is that I think they're the #1 team in the MEC. But one thing that I will say that does concern me going into playoff or going into LAN eventually for Miami, Ohio, is that, as Fira was saying, it's a different environment. You got to be able to find your zone. You got to be able to relax, and you have to be able to really have fun and try not to stress too much. Win at LAN, win live, win on stage. And from the spring clash, I think I saw a little nerves kind of settle in there, because you got to remember, during the spring clash, CSU, they came through to take the whole thing. So if they're not careful, we could possibly see a repeat. And I know ONU is going to be wanting to make somewhat of a comeback at LAN as well from how they performed at the Spring Clash. So if anything, I would say it's going to be the transition from going from online games to live LAN games that could be the biggest potential problem for Miami.
Definitely going to be interesting as we talk more playoffs, just how important every matchup's going to be. One thing's for sure, Miami of Ohio definitely taking every opponent seriously as they go game to game. It was a absolute wipeout. Do we have another one on the docket? I'm not sure, but you'll want to stay tuned because Illinois College, Ashland University is going to be up next, so do not go away.
First question, have you competed at LAN before?
Yes, I competed at 2 state championships in Kentucky.
Oh, awesome. All right, well, welcome to MEC. What are some of your favorite aspects of LAN? Like, what sets it apart?
I like seeing the people I play, and for better or worse, if they beat me, I like to know who beat me. If I lose, I like to see who I played. It's just, it adds a real life factor to the game.
Yeah. All right, nice. Do you think you benefit from a little more, like, would you say there's a little more pressure maybe than LAN?
The first few stages, no, but like once you get to where there's actually something on the line, absolutely. Like a playoff bracket on LAN versus a playoff bracket online, there's a lot more on the line.
I love it. Awesome. Well, the big question I've been asking as far as like creatively is if you were on the dev team for Rocket League and you were doing your first crossover event, like what is the IP and what are you bringing into Rocket League, like step number one?
I've got 2 that come to mind.
Okay.
One, I know it's not like neither of them are really video game things. They're like real life.
Oh, I love it.
Number 1, Oscar Myers Wienermobile.
Oh, yes, nice.
Number 2, Corvettes. I'm from the only place in the world Corvettes are made.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
it's
a
home for hometown. Me. Yeah, true. Awesome. I mean, honestly, Corvettes are great. The Wienermobile, you know, in like a musty flick would just look insane.
I don't know what hitbox it would have.
It would be
probably Merc, maybe Dominus.
It's too tall for Dominus, right?
Octane.
Yeah, no way.
It had to be Merc, right?
Yeah, that would be better. I mean, why not give it the Scarab just for fun?
Well, Scarab's Octane.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, okay. We need what's boost? What's the what's the?
You know, like the one that has the chicken feathers. It's that, but it's hot dogs.
Oh yeah.
So
wait, ketchup mustard. Wait.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe a little relish.
Oh no, those are the boost trails. Ketchup mustard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the boost would be relish.
I mean, it's as easy as that. Where are we at? All right. Well, thanks for coming. Oh wait, no, I've got one more question. Sorry. Of your teammates, can't say yourself now. Yeah, because you've already been shouted out. For your banter, perhaps. But of your teammates, who's most likely to go viral, and what shows up on the For You feed?
Probably Thera, just because I feel like he'd rage and break something. Not to say that he's a rager.
Just a little rage compilation. Like, it's in the moment. Yeah,
in the moment he'd get upset with the setup because it's not his. And maybe break something and then get in trouble because it's not his.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Just caught on the phone cam on the way in.
Probably. Something like that.
Awesome. All right, well, appreciate it. Good luck in the games today. Yeah.
And welcome back, one and all. Even more on the docket for you as we have Ashland University, aforementioned in our last series, 0-5, 3-15, going up against Illinois College, 2-3, 6-10. This one, I don't think for Ashland University an upset win will be able to put them over the top. If I'm looking at the statistics correctly, they would lose on the head-to-head to Simpson College, who's just above them, and they still would only be able to tie them as far as their game differential goes.
Yeah,
definitely rough, Cap.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit too late in the season to make changes, but at the same time, you still want to go out on the best possible note no matter what. So going into the postseason, you want to go in with a 1-5 record rather than an 0-6.
I agree with you completely. Illinois College, though, definitely playing for quite a few marbles in this matchup. They want to be 3-3. They want to hold down that 4th seed because it ends up being a much better partnership going up against the 5th seed. You want to be there. So a little bit on the line for them. Silent Wolf, Jeeve, Slippy going up against Viper, Run, and GG Runner. So the two teams that have been pretty interesting to watch. One has a lot of potential in Illinois College, but Ashland University, we've already talked about how their chill knows no bounds.
And, that can definitely be a factor. I mean, online, not as much. Again, when people are playing in the comfort of their own homes, they're pretty chill, to say the least already. I mean, I'm in the comfort of my own. It even applies to casters as well, kiddo. I feel like, when we're in the comfort of our own home, there's a little less pressure for us, whether than when you're on LAN and there's a live audience and you got all these cameras, lights, and everything. And again, it's a whole different atmosphere. So I don't know for tonight if that's going to translate, but it definitely would at LAN. So we'll see, if the power of the nerves do come through tonight. But I got to tell you, Illinois College, they're a pretty chill team too. We got to interview Run a few times, and homie is pretty chill, so I think they're gonna be just as equally calm going into this matchup. And again, Illinois College has done nothing but impress me ever since the spring clash. So again, they could possibly be a wild card team going into LAN and into the playoffs.
Well, if there's one thing I'm excited about, it's the fact that those in the chat getting active for their young folks, and it's one of my favorite things about whether it be collegiate esports or MEC play. The family's always getting involved, so shout out to you rooting on your youngsters. Here we go. Ashland University, Illinois College, a little bit of seeding on the line for the team in orange.
Well, here we go. We are 10 seconds now underway into game number 1, and already Run, trying to take control of possession, is going to get battled out here as GG Runner now is able to pass the midfield line, has a player in the mid, not able to get the pass off, and the demos are coming out big for Ashland.
Nothing quiet out of what we've seen from Ashland so far. The Eagles woke up, they ate their Wheaties, they chose violence, and the first 30 seconds has been a fireworks show.
Honestly, that's my favorite type of show here in Rocket League, as now Illinois College will once again try and get some offense a-brewing for their side, as that 50-50 does go high out and towards the side of Vipes, or Viper, now coming back from the side, not able to get the cross. As that 50 will put it back into the danger of Ashland. And right now, Illinois College slowly but surely encroaching on their first goal.
They are working the position of possession up. And quickly, though, it's only one miss to get the ball down and in for Slippy. Really good follow through.
Yeah, and this is a little bit reminiscent of what we saw from Simpson College in the previous matchup. We saw Illinois College just sent everyone, including the kitchen sink. Again, the kitchen sink has returned, and it's being sent now at Ashland. And Illinois College had nobody back to play defense, and Ashland, again, if they're given an open-end opportunity, they're going to take it. And frankly, this late in the game, this late in the playoffs, when you have standings on the line, you can't afford to be giving away goals like that.
Nice goal line defense by Slippy, and they're going to look to work this ball forward. Loose touch Immediately jumped on by Silent Wolf. Here comes the last one back. It's Keep. Can't get through the initial defense. Illinois College looking to regroup. Both teams seem to be throwing themselves at some of these challenges, so hard 50-50s will likely be the play. Catches like that are going to be extremely important, Cap. But at the same time, you also want to make sure that your positioning is pure, because a missed 50-50 could be a chance on that down in the box, but the save is pure as well.
Yeah, and they had 2 defenders ready in net as well. Ashland University doing a really good job with their positioning. I have to say, that's what is impressing me the most right now. Whether they're on offense or defense, you can see that they are actually spreading the field out and, once again, not getting it too congested in one area or the other. We're seeing a lot more trust and a lot more communication on their side as Illinois College nearly get there first, but it's going to be cleared out.
Definitely a tough angle, though. And Illinois College is just a simple regroup. They're looking to put this one back in. Slippy, ambitious with the attempt to maintain the zone, and I'm all here for it. That's where you want to be. You want to maintain that sort of control, and if you're able to do so with that kind of firepower, I am impressed. The Eagles coming out with that mentality, hey, we got nothing to lose, let's chill on them.
Well, Illinois College still looking to get their first goal here as this one goes up high off the backboard run. Not able to get the read as the follow-up touch was nearly good. But once again, the MVP, most valuable post, that is the crossbar, coming in clutch for Ashland University.
It will be GG Runner across, down, and another post down and out. The Slippy with a chance to return to sender all the way back down, but quickly swept away by the second rotation on that defense. Both teams rapid fire back and forth. We've seen 3 shots in a quick succession on both sides of the net, and it doesn't look to be stopping. This is looking reminiscent of 90s Big 12 basketball more than a game of Rocket League.
Love the reference. That was S-tier reference. But as we continue on here, 1 minute remaining. Illinois College still scoreless, and this is completely uncharacteristic of them because they are a very aggressive, very heavy offensive team. And you know, I'm pretty sure when it comes to the shot count, it's going to be pretty high and could possibly be more than Ashland's. But right now, it's the shot accuracy that just seems to be a little bit off for Illinois as they just keep hitting the post time and time again.
And accuracy doesn't seem to be as much of a problem for Ashland, and by that I'm looking mainly at their clears. They are doing a great job with that third person in to clear and maintain the zone, but it's the long distance bombs that have requited a save on the back end because they're so close to the net despite being so far away. They're creating opportunities off of that pitch and catch from one zone to another, and it's leaving Illinois College stunned. 5 seconds to go. Still a chance if they can get something towards the net. All still up. They work the zone, but it is grounded, and Ashland University are going to come through with a Game 1 win.
Yep, that they are, and it only took 1 goal. Again, one of my many hot takes is that in order to win a game of Rocket League, you really only need to score once. But another point that I was making in the matchup is that I felt like Illinois College's shot count was through the roof, and come to find out that was correct too. You're looking at 7 shots coming from Illinois College. Meanwhile, on the side of Ashland, only 4. So absolutely insane that the possession game was, for the majority of the time, was in the favor of Illinois College, and yet they just kept putting dents in the post, the sidebars, literally all over the net besides the back of it. And you know, that's got to be a little gut-wrenching, to say the least. But I think they're going to come into the next game and they're going to start putting shots on point.
You can see it indicative of the stats there. 4 saves on the 7 shots that were provided by Illinois College. Those 3 that were missed, it probably should have been in. And those are those bar touches that we were talking about. Bar out just would not roll in for them, nor could they get the extra in cover. Will the bar be more forgiving in game number 2? Maybe Illinois College will make the slight adjustment, maintain a little bit of extra pressure. I know this much. those long clears that Ashland University have been utilizing. If you are on top of them, if you face them forward and you maintain your possession through them, they're essentially turnovers. Ashland's going to want to watch and quiet. Wolf, did you see the flip cancel on that?
Honestly, no. I mean, you blink and you miss it, and it was honestly just so good that I couldn't even really catch the flip cancel. But right now, Illinois College are once again trying to get their offense going, as once again it will be Ashland to hold strong on the defensive end and now try and turn their defense into a little offense, as Slippy will get the first goal to go here in game 2.
From the flip cancel to Slippy, working all the way through. The cam might not show it, but that is complete and utter control in the angle. Immaculate.
And not even a minute gone here. Ashland University really stepping their game up. I mean, again, Illinois College is a really formidable team, and Ashland University finally are going to surrender their first goal, but I'm surprised it took Illinois this long to do it.
But you have to get in the face, and Smash Mouth was the name of the game. You saw it. They came through. They challenged early on the sidewall, and they were set up, ready for that ball to fall in the box. So Illinois College, that's the sort of fast answer you want after a rough start. I get the feeling there's no more games coming from the side of Illinois College. Like the pass attempt, Wyatt Wolf was looking toward the mid, and really is brilliant, Cap, to see just how much these teams develop themselves over time. This Ashland squad is looking very good, as they are trying and attempting to find some pretty charged passes in the midfield.
You know, they are, but those are my favorite type of passes. You know, everybody likes a good long ball. You know, we like to see some boomer ball. But at the end of the day, when you're going for these long passes, it leaves a big opportunity for interceptions, and then you're just giving possession away. So to me, it's the short, quick-fire passes that are not only the most entertaining to watch, but also some of the most difficult ones to pull off, and they have a higher conversion rate as well whenever you get to those high-speed passes. So with that being said, I like the changes that we're seeing from Ashland, and now let's see if Illinois College can also make changes, as they have been stalemated for quite some time now as we pass 3 minutes.
I love the fact you're utilizing conversion rate, because Rocket League can sometimes be broken down to macros like that. It is getting the ball into the right place. Viper, great patience, maintains, gets the ball into a positive scoring position, a high percentage scoring position, then goes for the bump. And it didn't matter that there were 2 defenders in the net. You still had a fraction of that net open, and it was delivered. A bomb right to that top shelf.
And now we have just unlocked a completely different factor in the game, because we have seen the quick passes, we have seen the long passes, but now we're seeing the bump plays as well. So now you have a completely different factor to worry about coming from Illinois College. It took them a whole game to start breaking out the physical play, but now we finally have it. Although Ashland, I mean, they brought it in game number 1. I think now they're going to have to break it out here in game 2.
Hard charge into the corner. The Eagles continue to look to fly. This is going to be to the sidewall. He does miss out on the initial opportunity, but I like the decision to rotate back. Everyone will whiff on the ball in the box, and Viper looking to bring it back up. You can't leave a loose touch, because it might be a slippy ball towards the net. Big save on the goal line by GG Runner, but it is not done yet. The pressure from Ashland University, it's still coming in the midfield. Shot towards the net again. It's Quiet Wolf to stretch across, and both teams' offensive volleys are looking crucial. Do they have this one? No!
They don't, but we all know they should have. I mean, Ashland University, they're going to want that one back for sure. The pass was there. The waterfall touch off the ceiling was there. And then the demo was there. Everything was right. But again, I think there was just too many bodies on the ball. There were 2 offenders and, of course, 1 defender. And unfortunately for Ashland, the 50 didn't fall their way. But if they can get another play like that going, there's no doubt in my mind that it will go in the second time around.
Kind of a rough spot. Slippy back face to the challenge. Does stall things out. This will be a high touch, but backboard defense going to be the name of the game. Illinois College, and not quite hurdled up, but they've definitely taken a more conservative approach the ball. So we'll see how Ashland University approach things here in the last portion of time. Running low. PG runner towards the net, long clear again, but that's not what you need. You need more control, shorter passes, find each other, and break this thing open.
Well, you can see Ashland still not giving up on the offense here, and I got to tell you, it does seem as though Ashland have been taking the possession game for the majority of this matchup, but it's Illinois College's defense that have been truly exceptional throughout the entire time of regulation here, as time is now ticking against Ashland. The final few seconds are running down off the clock. Could possibly have a last-ditch effort, as that coulda, woulda, shoulda been the end there. But, oh well, Illinois College don't need it. They'll decide to end the game 2-1 and tie up the series.
Now 1-2. Again, low scoring for both of these teams. It's definitely been a grind mentality. But Illinois College well in the lead when it comes down to how many shots can you put on net. I don't necessarily think it's a lack of possession that Ashland University, have been getting. The Eagles have had abundance with the ball. Case in point, Slippy on ball, be able to get 4 shots on. My issue is I would like to see a little more control and a deviation from the chip down into the defensive zone. We talked about it last week, how you can have a variance of offensive approaches. In fact, I would encourage it. But if you are doing that dump and chase, more often than not, the lack of mix-up can easily become something that your opponent can key on and then create possession off of.
Yeah, one thing I have to point out from Ashland University is they had 7 saves that game. They had 2 savior medals and then the additional save on top of it. That's insane. First of all, that is some high percentage defending, but the only problem is that their shot count was relatively low compared to Illinois College. So again, we kind of saw the roles reversed. In game number 1, it was Ashland University that was just raining down on the shot count. No, actually, no, it was Illinois College that still had the shot count, but it was Ashland that still ended up taking the win. So again, you know, we're kind of seeing the roles reverse, where Illinois College was working with the lead and Ashland had to come from the deficit. So I think it's really imperative for Ashland to get on the board first, because they seem to be a little bit more comfortable when they don't have to work from that deficit.
Agreed completely. And we see game number 3, Illinois College again. What is on the line is the 4th seed going into the playoffs. And Viper, this is gorgeous. Double tap, send it home.
Oh yeah, that's a little Finnick finesse there. You know, we already talked to Fira from Miami in the previous series, and you know, they were kind of dabbling with the Octane. They said they like to play with the Finnick as well when they're trying to do more, you know, of the fancy leg work and the fancy mechanics, and you know, they'll break out the Octane every now and again. But I gotta tell you, that first goal from Viper was nothing short of some Finnick finesse.
With 1 goal down, they're looking to finesse their way into our hearts and into a 4th seed going into playoffs. Will be Viper again. This will be a miss. Perhaps a calculated fake, though, as the 3rd in. Able to push that one right back off the backboard, and it is maintenance of Illinois College control. 1 up and over. Dangerous in the box, but swept to the side by Slippy. The Eagles look to bring this ball right back in, but as you can see, yeah, it's becoming concerning. They're losing control from the midfield on.
Yeah, but Ashland now looking to capitalize, nearly Slippy there with the shot on target. And I got to tell you, I do like the change of pace. Ashland University starting to look like they were in game number 1. They're bringing the speed, and they are now encroaching once again on the net. And they're not going full send. They're not going full dive. I think they may have learned a lesson about leaving their net unattended. So again, Ashland University are definitely making the right changes here in game number 3. The question is, are they going to be able to once again try and work from a deficit?
All going to be worked around. really like how some of these initial touches seem like they are right on the money. Oh, that one almost finished. It just had not been delivered upon by the second one in. That one, there was a delivery, but it was quickly intercepted by the Illinois College defense. Ashland, though, will maintain press. They look to continue this ball on, and Quiet Wolf can't keep the press on from the ceiling. Now Illinois College hindered by Slippy on the way back. That was something that could have been very impressive. A shout for the Eagles going into halftime.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They're stepping up their aggression and they're taking riskier shots, which I'm absolutely in favor for, because you have to take risky plays in order to find the back of the net. Illinois College, they're just playing too much ironclad defense, and Ashland University has had trouble getting through that final line in front of the goal line. So sometimes you have to increase your risk to increase your reward, as finally Ashland University are able to tie up the game.
They are, and it is once again a very well executed first touch. The second one in, he able to put things away. And Ashland University, I'm looking for the second. Move it up just a tiny bit. The third play has been extremely good as well. Both defenses have been showing us something. Much better accuracy as well from Illinois College. We haven't been mentioning the crossbar. That is something that is worth mentioning.
Just over a minute to go. Still tied at one. A Quiet Wolf is going to get the go-ahead goal for Ashland U.
Just stays with this ball through the corner and beyond. Gets under it just enough to flick it. You want finesse? Ashland University going to deliver, and a Quiet Wolf will live up to the namesake as they will pounce.
Oh my goodness. I mean, with just over a minute left to go, having a lead this late in the game, definitely going to give a much needed amount of momentum into the favor of Ashland, as now you can see Illinois College are on the back foot. Their backs are up against their own wall here, as time is now ticking against them. Illinois College not only have to battle out Ashland University, but they're also battling against the clock.
Wolf has control. Going to slow play out the 50. That's exactly what you want to do here. Keep the ball as long as possible in the offensive zone. That is, in my opinion, a better defense than trying to play solid defense. Maintaining control in an unscorable position. Quiet Wolf again, just ushering the ball corner to corner in Illinois College. The first time they've really looked like things have not gone their way. A chance for a 2v1. Big demo on the front end. Shot on, will score. And you could see the circumstance ahead of time. Illinois College takes advantage.
And this is the primary example of what needs to be done. You're going against the clock, literally 2 seconds remaining. You have to make a play. You cannot wait for the opportunity. You have to create it. And that was perfect. Nice long clear, beautiful demo, and a great recovery in order to salvage the game at the last second. Now we go into overtime, Kendo, and the clock will tick upward.
Worth mentioning was the double commit on the front end of that play, and Ashland University, good on them. They haven't had too many double commits, and their commits when they have come have looked like this. Quiet Wolf, goal number 3 on game number 3 will send things home in overtime.
Okay, if I've learned anything from this series, is that the crossbar is just not aligned with Illinois College. Illinois College and the crossbar are mortal enemies, I am convinced. Illinois College, they hit nothing but the crossbar and it bounces out. Ashland U hits the crossbar and it wins them in overtime. How does this happen? How can the crossbar be such a sentient being to pick favorites? It doesn't make any sense. But what does make sense is that Ashland U absolutely dominated the shot count. 13 shots in comparison to Illinois' 3. Unbelievable. They have a 10-shot difference between the two. And again, it's just a complete turnaround of play styles between these two teams, between games number 2 and 3.
Yeah, it doesn't take somebody with eyes to see just how much of a tide Ashland University were able to bring in. And it came with extra momentum. It came with extra control. Position a challenge, moved completely from the midfield and kind of fourth of the way into the Ashland defensive zone to very much in Illinois College's workplace. They weren't able to do very much about it. Initial touches from Ashland have been so good. And if you are Illinois College, you need to send somebody to hinder those initial touches. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to deliver.
Oh, and I gotta tell you, I mean, as we have already talked about, you know, somewhat in the pre-show, that, you know, getting a win here isn't going to make that much of a difference as far as Ashland's standings. So right now, it just seems like Ashland is playing spoiler to Illinois College, because this will dramatically affect their standings going into playoffs. So again, there's a lot on the line for Illinois, and, you know, they're looking down the barrel of game point in the favor of Ashland.
Definitely been remarkable to see how much Ashland have been able to grow just in this series, but a little bit of miscommunication leads to the first goal. Illinois College. This is the type of initiation that you need, and they've done it once already in a previous game. But press the corners, press the ball in uncomfortable circumstances, and you want to make Ashland uncomfortable with the ball. Don't allow them to deliver dimes like they have off their first touches.
Well, here we go. It's going to be Ashland trying to take control here, but Illinois College able to find one another on the pass. GG Runner gets a 50 out to mid. You can't ask for a better 50 than that, as it will be Ashland to recover and avoid the danger that is the encroaching Illinois College offense.
Another long ball dump and chase. This could be a shot towards the net again. Routine save, this time by Run. Nobody home. Quickly on ball, does find the shot on. Slippy, yet again, equal to the task. Both of these teams very straightforward in some of their recent offense. Haven't seen as many of the bump plays or the demo attempts out of Illinois College, and I'd like to see him try to return to that, to remove those on-rotation Ashland defenders.
Slow and steady here is the Ashland playbook, as they're not going to try and force the issue. They know they're down a goal. They just have to find an opening and capitalize. Illinois College now going to apply the pressure. They're not going to be playing slow and steady. They want to go for the fast break. They're going for the high-speed play. Big opening in front of the net. Not going to be any good. It does get cleared out by Ashland U, and we're going right back to the Illinois College half.
Really would like to see wider rotations out of Illinois College as well. It just seems a lot of those defensive touches have been rushed at times, and hasn't done them any favors whatsoever. Loose ball, found in the midst. Lippy gonna go for it early. GG Runner faces to the side. Loose clear once again. Finds an Ashland University member in the midfield. Again, 3 times in a row. Something that Illinois College need to do at this point in time. Control the ball out of their own zone better. Who better to do it than GG Runner, up around 2. Not able to get by the last one, though. But control like that can wreak havoc on Ashland.
Yep, that it can, but time once again ticking away against Ashland here. And Illinois College knows it. They're going to try and take control away as Ashland once again have a scoring opportunity. That looks good, but unfortunately, the pass could not be completed. As now Ashland will have to try again. Big open net opportunity, and Slippy is going to slip right past the defense to give us a tie game at 1:29.
Oh my goodness. The angles have been something else for Ashland University in this series. That is 3 goals that have come from a 10-degree angle. And That's impressive if you ask me. They've been able to control the ball in and out of the corner, and once again, an uncontested first touch turns into success for the Eagles. If you're Illinois College, you're going to have to clip those wings.
Well, here we go. And then honestly, if this is the pace that we're setting up, it looks like we could possibly have another OT. But if you're Illinois College, I don't think you want overtime against Ashland. You know, just based on how the last one went, it was over in 3 seconds. So Illinois College, if I were them, I would be trying to end this one in regulation. It's time to hit the boards. It's time to start striking. You've been playing aggressive offense all day long. Now you need it more than most. 40 seconds to go. Ashland now with possession.
And I don't see them having a problem with striking. The problem is they're doing it from their own zone. How often has this ball remained loose, unprotected in the midfield? And Ashland have just been able to have a field day, both bringing the ball back in as well as getting the ball in dangerous spaces. We do see a lofter immediately jumped on by Quiet Wolf, and now Slippy all the way through. Another loose touch ushered into the corner, and Illinois College with 10 seconds to go. They might be praying for an overtime. Slippy down through, no redirect will come. Does this one go? No, Viper unable to get the finish, and it is overtime, game number 4.
I'm interested to see what would happen if we had just one more second in regulation, because that 50-50 could have been gnarly. You know, like that one, honestly, it could have gone either way because it was building up to that 50-50 in front of the net. But regardless, we are now in overtime here in game 4. Golden goal opportunity as Ashland are looking to close out the series here and now, and Illinois College are looking to force a game number 5.
Oh, Slippy under the first defender. Quiet Wolf going to get this to the side. Big demo in the midfield. It's going to allow Ashland University free reign of the challenge. Illinois College has been aggressive in the corner. Look to bring it out. Slippy side ball does not get the bounce they would have liked, and now it is a glorified 1v1. That ends in a demo. Open net possibility, but Slippy on the back line is able to get the initial challenge out, and it plays safe here for Ashland University.
And now a big pass off the backboard, but it is going to get cleared away. And right now, once again, you see Ashland not rushing or forcing the issue, and I like that. You see a lot of times where Illinois College, they really push up and try and get these big fast break plays, and where other players I have seen panic, Ashland University has been cool, calm, and collected. As a matter of fact, in the past I have seen Ashland succumb to the panic, but even in situations like this, shot on from run, Slippy still gets to save. And I gotta say, the mental fortitude coming from Ashland University has been a big improvement since we first seen them in the beginning of the season.
I agree with you completely, and the thing that is stymieing Illinois College, they have the speed to beat really anyone at this point. Bringing and conducting yourselves with more speed, it's not a bad idea. The issue I have is a lot of the challenges are going straight towards an already present defender. If you're not going to get a demo, try to find the sideball, try to find the backboard. That one additional misdirection or touch with speed is going to be enough to win you the game. We just haven't seen that. It's been far too direct an approach.
I agree full-heartedly. And another thing that we need to see is we need to see a cross. Whether it come out from a corner pass, something's got to give. These direct approaches going right up the gut just isn't working for either side, to be completely clear. So again, I think it's going to be the cross that comes from the side that is going to be the one that takes the game. And unfortunately, we saw the shot there from Viper. I just think that cross would have been a lot better as a pass rather than a shot. Let's see if the adjustments can be made and who's going to be able to find the first opening, as we are now encroaching onto 3 minutes here in extra time.
Speaking of a pass, I would love to see this series or this overtime end with a pass. Everyone's getting involved. This is going to be towards the net. Slippy, oh, it's just off. Very close to being able to finish things off for Ashland U. Now they need to redirect their attention back the other way. A misdirect off the sidewall, easily placed to the side by Keeb. The defense going to have to recollect itself. Slippy through one. Can't get the flick over, and Illinois College will once again regroup from the midfield on. It just seems like every single time there's traction in the offensive zone for Illinois College, they end up missing out, due in part to some incredible defensive effort.
Oh my goodness, it doesn't get much closer than this. I mean, we're nearly 4 minutes into this OT, and neither side is wavering. Now we have two players faking. As, I mean, again, it's just all going down in front of Illinois College's net. All it would take was one touch from Ashland, and that could have been a goal. That could have been the end of the game. And a lot of this contention, a lot of the interceptions and 50s happen in front of the net, and Illinois College are finally able to put game 4 to bed.
And the final double commit ends up being Slippy, taking a little extra time in that corner. You also saw the boost grab, the steal from Illinois College, and that was huge, being able to create off of that. So you knew there was a shot coming. Sadly, Quiet Wolf in the net, not able to make that final save. 8-0. Ashland University, I'm looking down the line at the shots. There is no lack of shots, but I'd love to see more balance. I need Geeb coming forward, because you remember game number 3, it was Geeb who was able to make some of those finishes happen.
Yeah, it absolutely was, and now you can see where the rotation is hitting, though. It's on the defensive side. Every single player on their team got a save your medal, so their defensive rotation is on point. Now they just got to bring the offensive rotation. I mean, you're looking at the side of Illinois College. Once again, they come away with 13 shots on target, only 3 more than Ashland U. It's not that big of a disparity when we consider the shot counts that we have seen throughout the night. 3 shots rather, not that big of a difference, especially considering that we have seen more shots ring off the post than, you know, just a 3-shot disparity. So that really could have gone either way. Ashland U, once again, like you said, they have the right rotation on the defense. We just need to see the right rotation now on the offensive side of the pitch. But with that being said, also got to give roses to Illinois College, definitely being able to turn this series around when their backs were up against the wall.
One more for all the money, folks. Well, not quite money, but one more for all the pride going into this one. Illinois College, they have fought back. Ashland University trying desperately to get their first win in the regular season, and they have shown us that they are a changed team. They are an improved team. They're not going away, and Quiet Wolf just showed us a really good save across.
And Illinois College now looking to answer back. GG Runner has a read, but they're not able to get the touch. That one was looking good, but it looks like they may have ran out of boost there, so they couldn't position themselves correctly. And it goes down and by the wayside. Now Ashland U will get a turn on the offense, but it looks as though there's no one there to help out Quiet Wolf.
Ooh, Demo on the back end takes out Run, who was in position. Eventually finished that initial challenge in. We haven't talked as much about demos for Ashland University, but it seems like they have done a great job of finding them in rotation. They haven't been going out of the way for them, and a lot of the time, that helps you maintain the defense that you need on net. MV Posts coming back as Illinois College. That one should have been a goal.
I can't help but laugh because the post never goes in favor of Illinois. and it's unfortunate, it really is, because Illinois College have had so many good shots, so many good plays. The passing play was there, the control was there, taking it all the way to the other side of the pitch. It's just the shot, even when it should go in, the post is just there to deny. It's heartbreaking, to say the least.
More demos on the goal line. And a little less power than was needed for Geeb. It's nice to see them getting involved, getting a shot on the tally as Ashland University working together. Quiet Wolf looks for the pass across. Won't be able to find Bader. Illinois College, good patience in their defensive zone, but again, I'm seeing loose touches like the one right there. Granted, they're able to follow this one, but more often than not, their biggest issue is they are losing possession of the ball in the midfield because of long clears. Now a slow play, probably when there shouldn't have been. No one there to follow things up.
And now you can see it looks like Illinois College are going for the long pass here, nearly connected. And, you know, that was actually a better attempt than not, because like you had imagined, you know, they get to the midfield line and then they're just taking a solo shot. But I do like the cherry pick play. It almost paid off for them, as now they have another opportunity, as that one will get batted away by Slippy. But gotta give Illinois College some credit. They are making a lot better pass play attempts, and it's only a matter of time before one pays off.
I know I'm going to give credit to Slippy for being able to 50-50 everyone, including the kitchen sink if necessary. Able to get quite a few good dives into the offensive zone. Quiet Wolf going to steal the boost. Here comes Slippy. Round one, big demo on the front line. Do they have the extra touch? No. Quiet Wolf will continue this, and Ashland C1 go by the wayside. That probably should have been a goal.
Yeah, I think someone needed to communicate with Slippy that they had the time. You know, we heard the demo, at least I did. I heard the audio cue, I heard the demo go off, and I think Slippy had a lot more room to work with than what they initially thought, as now they go for yet another pass, and it just simply is not going to go in for Ashland U. They have got to start talking it up on the mics.
Run literally had to do so in order to make that save across. The misdirection was just enough to fool me, and my socks ended up on the other side of the room, my friend, after the save. Here comes GG Runner. Ball down, big pinch, that's a goal from the midfield.
Now this was pretty, and at the same time, you know, this was bound at some point to happen, because like we had mentioned, Illinois College, they haven't really been going for the short plays by any means. It's always been a long ball, long shot, long clear, long pass. And you know what? Finally, they're able to get the long shot on point, except for this time they didn't take it to the air. They pinched it off the ground. And sometimes you just have to send the worm burner in to find the back of the net, and they did just that. Illinois College now have that 1-goal lead in the late game of Game 5.
Comes Quiet Wolf. Slippy and Quiet Wolf have been a total non-stop nuisance for Illinois College in the midfield. Will be able to get another one. Quiet Wolf up early. Shot towards the net. Tough to save, but GG Runner is equal to the task. With only 9 seconds to go, it's now or never for Ashland. They want the win, but they need one more, and they don't have it in pocket. It is cleared out. Geeb has to make the save, and Viper will take things home for Illinois College.
My goodness, Ashland University nearly playing spoiler to Illinois, but in the dire moments, Illinois College able to come in clutch in order to save the series and save their standings. Wow. My goodness, what a series coming from Ashland and Illinois College, both respectively.
You got to respect the effort that came from the Eagles and GG's in the chat for all who were involved in this one. Ashland showed us the product of their development throughout the season, and I was personally impressed. At this point, clean the slate. Doesn't matter. You're going to end up going up against that number 2 seed in Miami of Ohio down the road, and quite literally down the road, Ashland University, just a couple hours jaunt to Miami University.
Well, you know, the best thing about that is that whenever we do get to land time, you're going to be able to see both of those teams at the same place at the same time going head to head. So you got to make sure that you get to the land if you want to see these MEC players live and experience the MEC for yourself. You should come to watch the MEC Spring Championship at the Unified Gaming Fan Fest. Illinois College on April 6th and 7th. Use command !Spring Championship in the chat and follow the link to get your tickets to join us there. But with that being said, I think we are ready to send it to a quick short break. But when we come back, we are going to get an interview with one of the players from Illinois College. Do not go anywhere.
And welcome back. Interview time. Kendo Slice alongside Captain Etsoka, and we have Illinois College's own Run. Run, I gotta ask. It was a tough one to get there, but y'all secured that 4th seed. How does it feel?
Definitely feels great. I feel I was going to get a heart attack in that game. Every ball it was in front of our net. It was great. It was a great game. Both teams gave their best.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, this is going to bode well for you in the standings. How important was it really to come through with the win tonight, right before the playoffs?
I believe it was very important, especially because Cornell's right below us, and if I'm not wrong, they're going against CSU. So our hope was to win this one, and they lose their game against CSU. That's our predictions.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, tonight it was coming down to the wire, and I got to say, I don't think anybody expected, Ashland to put up quite a challenge. And I need to ask you, what was going on the pitch there when you guys, you were on match point against Ashland, and then all of a sudden you are able to turn it 100% around. How are you able to concentrate that well and recover so quickly?
It's definitely due to our extensive training we've done until now. There's games where only one of us calms, so whenever we get really serious, the rest of us get quiet and one person makes the shots, and I feel like it was very good this time around. It made us recover really well. Everybody was frustrated, but after that first goal, I feel like we definitely turned it around for ourselves.
Well, next up on the docket is potentially well, we know it's the playoffs, but potentially a finals that will be held in Jacksonville, Illinois. And I can see the smile on your face. What would playing the Midwest Esports Conference Finals at home in a LAN environment be like for you?
I really wish it happens. I really hope we get all the way to the finals, especially playing here at home. I feel like we'd have a great crowd. I would love to see people there, especially playing against my opponents, seeing them. I love the LANs. They're so good.
And I love to hear the reaction to some of the LAN environments. It's brilliant to see, and thank you so much for your time. One last go of it. Did you have anyone you wanted to shout out before we send you off with a good regular season?
My coach back there, he's great. He's amazing. He helps us out a lot. Applause is for him.
Thank you so much for your time, and thanks to the coach of Illinois College getting in on the action as well, keeping everybody together. Oh, mercy. Cap, I'm excited for Illinois College. The very idea of being able to host your own conference tournament, the finals, in them being in a position where they can play in front of a home crowd, it had to know if there was going to be a mental difference, if they thought they could potentially be world enders with the crowd behind them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that is a motivator, if any, to try and push you into the finals, just because if you are able to make it to the finals, you're going to have something that not many teams get, and that's home field advantage. That's the crowd supporting you as well. So again, that has a big impact in a lot of live events. So again, that is just going to be a key motivator for Illinois College to come through and play their best on the playoffs, because again, if they manage to get to the finals, they will be giving themselves a huge advantage. So again, and not to mention, it's your home turf. You have a stake in that claim to perform your absolute best. So if I was Illinois College, it would be just as monumental as I think Run had put it. So yes, I mean, keep a lookout for Illinois.
Keep a lookout for Illinois, but you will want to keep a lookout, folks, because we have one more match on the docket for you. And that is going to be Cornell College, another 2-3 team looking to try to go 3-3 and potentially secure a 4th seed. Cleveland State will be in their way, and we already know that Cleveland State team going to bring their very best. They don't care who you are. They are going to look to run right through you. Who will win? The upstart Cornell, Cleveland State University? Don't go away and find out here after the break.
I'm David Stern, the head coach for Illinois College.
And for all games, or
yeah. I coach all the games. Even though I'm not good at coaching all the games, I do what I can.
All right. Well, it's nice to meet you. The first question I want to ask is, obviously, it's not your first LAN, but what are some of the things that excite you about LANs whenever you get to come and have these kids compete?
Especially seeing how all the players kind of react with each other. Just the intensity of the matches is so much higher.
Yeah.
They had their, the first Rocket League match about a week and a half ago, and they were really stressed about that. So the intensity of that one was pretty high.
Cool.
But now at the LAN events, the intensity is high again. So it's nice to just see them be so invested into this. And then afterwards we can just talk to Ashland, one of their players. And then I think with us being so loud, maybe other teams don't like us. But yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah, a little opportunity to create some hype, get some excitement into the arena. That's for sure. The next question I like to ask is usually centered around the game specific, but if you were on let's say the dev team of either Rocket League or League of Legends or whatever you kind of work with. What is the first crossover? What's the first character, whether it's fictional, non-fictional, who you bringing in? If it's Rocket League, they've done NASCAR, they've done Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
What's the first edition you're bringing
in? I'd love to see a Corky car in the
little the little ship
in the airship.
Yeah.
I feel like that one makes the most sense.
That racketing airship.
I know I would buy that. So.
That'd be sick. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you're kind of crossing over the two, games you work with. Nice. The final question of the Illinois College kids: who's most likely to just go viral for literally anything? I mean, doesn't have to be game related, but for better or for worse, who's most likely to show up on the For You page and make you go, "Oh no"?
I have a pretty clear answer.
Oh yeah.
Dwight.
Okay.
Boone. He also goes by Karma for Valorant. So he plays Valorant and Rocket League for us. I feel like if you interview him after a game, he might say some crazy stuff. So
okay, all right.
He is the most loose cannon of our entire program.
Makes sense.
But you gotta have a loose cannon.
It's good for content. It's good for content. All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Good luck in the matches today. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Cleveland State, Cornell College. Last game of the regular season on the docket for you. Kendo Slice, Captain Etsoka, going to bring everything home for the Midwest Esports Conference Rocket League action. Cap, it's been real, but I get the feeling this matchup is going to make it even more so.
It is, and again, it's bittersweet because I've had so much fun this season, and it's sad to see it, kind of start to dwindle down to the last few games. It is the last day of the regular season, and it has been quite the doozy. But with that being said, there is no other team that I think should be a force to be reckoned with more than CSU. I think they came in and they really impressed everybody at the spring conference. They're currently third in the overall standings, but my goodness, I mean, they are definitely up there with ONU and Miami Esports, if not more so. They have more than spoken for themselves at the spring college. They said it at the spring conference that they want it more than any other team, and to me, that is what's the most important when it comes to the MEC, especially going into playoffs and then eventually the finals.
It's one thing to say that, it's another thing to deliver, and Cleveland State so far have been able to deliver. This will be a last test for them because I referred to Cornell College as the upstart. This, in my opinion, is one of the most improved teams in all of the conference. And it's High Flux, T-Girl Sunshine, ADD Doe going up against Cypricate, Carson, and Sways. I think Cornell College have a puncher's chance in this one.
Well, I also think they do. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's going to take Cleveland State to come out strong in order to have the performance that I know that they can have. If they take it easy against a Cornell College, they could very easily find themselves 1 or 2 in the hole.
Oh, absolutely. They can make the same mistake that ONU made at the spring conference. Cornell won over many fans, and they have impressed many a spectator with their performance at the spring conference, being that they were able to take out ONU in the lower bracket. So again, if it just goes to show that you really can't underestimate any team, and Cornell especially. So going into this one, you're really going to have to bring your A game. You're not going to be able to slouch at all. But at the same time, CSU is not going to be that team. CSU has always been the heavy hitting team no matter what. They don't pull their punches at all. They don't take it easy on any team. And when it comes to underestimating your opponent, CSU just simply doesn't have it in them. They don't have it in their playbook. They don't have it in their bones. It's not what they do. And of course, Cypricate, they're not going to settle for anything less than near perfection. So again, be on the lookout for CSU. And honestly, they couldn't be matched up against a better opponent like Cornell to be our last game of the regular season.
Agreed. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. As much as I'd love the perfect world where we're on the last game and we're playing for seeding or we're playing for something, like something being on the line, there is absolutely nothing on the line. Both of these teams for sure are locked in where they are going to be for the playoffs. So nothing matters other than pride. And if there is one thing I think I've gathered from these two squads over the last few weeks of commentating and observing them, it is that they handle themselves with exactly that. So there is more on the line than one might think. And it's a send-off for the Midwest Esports Conference, the Rocket League action. Cornell College going up against Cleveland State in a display of who can do what. And that's going to be going on right now.
Yep, and you know what? There might not be anything, material on the line, being that it's not going to change your standings and there's not going to be any direct reward. But for me, because I know how, I know how my mentality is whenever I'm competing. So, you really want to go into a tournament off of a win. And I think going into a tournament, ending off the regular season on a good note is only going to bode well going into the playoffs. So granted, again, it's not going to improve their standings and it's not going to hurt their standings. It's still being able to go in to the playoffs with a little bit of momentum behind you.
Cornell College, they've been performing decently all season. And again, this is a team I feel showed themselves to be one of the more improved teams with their approach. Definitely calm, definitely collected. They understand that they can keep up with anyone. The issue is staring across the pitch from them is Cleveland State, and at times they have been the unstoppable juggernaut of this conference. We will see. Flux going to carry this through. Finally a little possession for Cornell College in the offensive zone, but that's the type of oppression that Cleveland State can bring. They are so present on ball.
And another thing I want to say about Cleveland State, while we're still scoreless here in game number 1 after 1:30, but I spoke too soon. Sways, of course, has to get on the board first. Right as I mentioned it, 3:28, Cleveland State take the lead.
I would have loved to have heard your point, Cap. The problem is, again, Cleveland State don't care. And they mean that in a good way. They don't care what the scoreline is. They don't care what seed they are. They're just here to take full advantage of whatever's given to them. And that was a perfect display of it. Sways has to get the touch up for Carson, who's going to choose to shadow this. Pass over to Cypricate on the side wall. Loses control. Here comes T-Girl Sunshine. looking through the corner, but a loss of control is quickly ushered back the other way for Cleveland State. And I get the feeling if Cornell College are not able to stick with some of those possessions into the offensive zone, they are going to struggle. They're going to find that position of challenge deep within their own zone more often than not.
And, you know, I love the first goal coming from CSU because, again, I think it only furthered the point that I was going to make is that we were talking about Ashland, and then even Run was talking about Ashland as Cornell gets their first goal on the board and ties the game up, is that Ashland is the chill team. And, honestly, I think CSU has no chill.
No chill whatsoever. But I would say Cornell College are the ones chilling extremely strong with that first goal, breaking the ice early, tie game, halftime. Reciprocate, unable to convert the quick answer. Cornell College, you're sitting pretty.
I mean, a tie game right before 2 minutes going up against CSU in game number 1. Not bad, not a bad start at all. Meanwhile, you do see that the ball is in Cornell territory. Reciprocate has a flip reset there, but it does get shut down by none other than T-Girl. No, was that T-Girl Sunshine? As you can see, it is going to go back out and towards the side. CSU still struggling to really take control here inside of enemy territory, as that one is just going to fall right in front of the net, and it will be good to go for Sways.
Doesn't have to be perfect every single time. In fact, this one, a little bit of a miss, and Sways had gone for it. Missed out on the challenge. It's why it's so important to follow through on your own touch. Get the low 5 as well from Carson on the back end.
Yep, mine as well. Now a 1-goal lead in favor of CSU. Still plenty of time for Cornell to try and equalize. Reciprocate, though, goes way up high. Not going to be able to find the answer, as that one's going to get batted away by Flux and company, who now look to take it the other way.
Liking the on-ball presence from Cornell College. Defensively looking stout. Oh, my!
I mean, this was a monster of a redirect. And then not only that, but it goes off the crossbar. Even if there was a defender in the net, there's no one that could have saved that shot. I mean, once again, we talked about Reciprocate in the pre-show, and there's a reason for it. Reciprocate can just make plays happen for CSU.
About strained a muscle watching that one go. My body instinctively trying to react, but my old man reflexes were no match for it. Cleveland State up a comfortable 2. Gonna make it 3, but at the same time, just maintaining a bit of control in the offensive zone will go a long way. Sways down for Carson, just missing. Quickly back the other way, but interference on the way back will create a harsh reality, and that reality is Cleveland State are just that. They're them, apparently.
They are, in fact, them. I am willing to agree with you there, as now we are in the final 30 seconds of regulatory play. Cleveland State still with that comfortable 2-goal cushion, and time not on the side of Cornell College as they look to try and get 2 more on the board. But it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Only 10 seconds left, Kendo.
Difference in this one, transition offense. You see how Cleveland State break out of their own zone. And it's impressive, Cap. The perfect example would be that goal where we saw a redirect top cheese. It doesn't get any more top cheese than that. Multiple times, it wasn't just the goals. They were continually finding each other on the breakout in order to enable each other throughout this game. Cornell College is going to have to make sure that they keep somebody on that backward rotation to make sure that the quick transitions are quelled. Otherwise, it's going to continue to be the transition difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And then not to mention there once again was, of course, the difference in the shot count. You got 10 shots compared to 4, the 10 coming, of course, from CSU, and then Cornell only with 4 shots. Again, that is a big discrepancy when there's only 4 goals that had been scored. 3 coming from the side of CSU and only 1 from Cornell. So again, we're going to have to see a change there as Cornell was forced to recover at least 5 saves within their own net. Actually, I want to say it was probably more than that in our stat sheet. But with that being said, we are seeing them, having once again that defensive rotation to where they can play within their own net, they can play within their own half. But now Cornell, they got to start getting the ball rolling on the other side of the pitch, inside of CSU territory.
Another perfect example of a transitional play. I want you to watch, folks, the way that they pass this ball up. Carson finds Cipricate. It's this short initial pass. The defense is in full retreat. They're not on it. There's plenty of room for shenanigans just like that, and they were able to carry the transition from the midfield onward. Brilliant stuff from Cleveland State, and it's giving us Exhibit A of exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, really good pinpoint precision on the pass plays, and Carson, from sky high, need I mind you, was up nearly on the ceiling and still was able to find Cipricate down low. So again, great passes being made from CSU. As I had mentioned earlier, this is not a team to take it easy on anybody. They don't sugarcoat anything. They play serious every time they're on the pitch, and that is an attitude that you have to have if you want to be a championship team. As now CSU once again are going on the offensive, looking for the double touch. Oh. Nearly got the triple, but it's not there.
We do have a bit of a Rule 1 scenario in the goal. Well, it's going to be a glorified 2v2 here just for a moment. Shot towards the net. They will continue to play with the positioning in mind. Flux. Down through 1. T-Girl Sunshine, right place, right time. Might have an extra touch. The finish. Big save coming across. Sways, screams that ball from corner to side. Oh,
yeah,
my.
This is why Rule 1 is always so interesting, because it just changes the complete dynamic of the game. You go from a 3v3 to a 2v2, and you may not think it, but trust me, it is a completely different ball game as Sway and Carson managed to find one another on the pass play to give CSU a 2-goal lead over Cornell here in Game 2.
Who do not know, I know we do have quite a few parents out there, don't always get the opportunity to hear their kids explain. Rule 1 would be the socially acceptable rule where if 2 cars end up colliding with each other and staying together, you maintain and no longer contribute to the play. Essentially a glorified hug between 2 cars on the pitch. And, they call it Rule 1, not because it's an actual rule, but because it is the highest gamer etiquette within Rocket League, apparently.
Yeah, there's really actually no rule behind it. It's just gamers being gamers for the most of it. As speaking of Sway just being Sways, nearly finds another goal on target. Carson looking to get theirs on the board, but it does get batted away. Halftime now, 2 minutes and 30 remaining. Cornell College looking to get their first goal on the board. Nearly able to get it to go, but the pass just wasn't on the mark.
Cleveland State, they just seem to be in cruise control at this point in time. Cipricate finds Carson, and what a save by Flux, but it is not enough. The double commit ends up getting punished.
And this is why it's so important to get those shot counts up, because the more shots you're taking, the more forced saves you are committing for Cornell College. And that is going to put them out of position, and that is going to leave open net opportunities. So good on Cleveland State to continue to pepper the backboard and to pepper the net with shots in order to create more scoring opportunities. Now 3-0 in the favor of CSU.
And this will be an open net opportunity. Flux there to convert. Cornell College not going to go away without a fight, but Cap, I'm concerned. Not too many mistakes are coming from the side of Cleveland State. Cornell College are going to wish for at least one more to bring that scoreline closer.
Absolutely, and if we learned anything from what we just saw, is that they can find it. CSU, not a perfect team. Once again, we have seen them push up just a little bit too far and leave their net unattended for the second time in the series. So if Cornell College can kind of bait them into encroaching a little bit further, they could capitalize on a fast break play of their own. They just have to connect on the pass. That is going to be the most important thing for Cornell, is to convert on the pass plays. Let's see if they can get it done. A minute and 25 now, and still a 2-goal lead for CSU.
Loose ball touch immediately jumped on by Flux, and here they are again. This time in the offensive zone, but it's amazing how those quick passes in the defensive zone allow Cleveland State to break out, and it consistently seems like Cornell College may be going a little bit too hard in some of those instances, but it always seems like there's a potential 2v1 back the other way when they do that. 53 seconds to go. Push up by Cornell College, but it's not really followed up. It does get to the corner, however. Forcing a bad touch and an overcommit. Carson gonna find a long bomb.
Yep, that they do. And again, great interception here, as it did come off of the pass from Cipricate, and there was just genuine speed towards the mid. And I don't know if it was just from communication or just heads-up awareness by Carson to be able to intercept that pass and to put it on target. But regardless, it is just great, phenomenal teamwork coming from CSU, that regardless of whether they're on defense or offense, they just seem to really find each other on the pitch.
You've got to realize just how deep the team gamesmanship of Rocket League goes, and Cleveland State, I think you could say about as much as any other team in the conference know what that means. That being said, I'll shut up, because this pass is beautiful in the finish. Wow.
Yep, like I had mentioned earlier, they have got to convert on the pass plays in order to answer back against Cleveland State, and it's going to be plays like that that will win the game. 20 seconds, it's still possible. It just might not be probable, as only 10 seconds remain, still down 2. The final 10 will begin to tick away for Cleveland State to get their win in game 2, and they're going to put the dagger into the set as CSU will get their 5th and what should be their final goal here in game 2.
Don't put that on them. There's 5 seconds left. I'm sure that we could see another goal very quickly, very easily. See? See what you did? You see what you did?
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
When it rains, it pours, and when it Cleveland State, the net's left open for some reason.
I said what could be. It wasn't definitive.
To be or not to be, that is the curse.
Yes. Well, there you have it. Final second now gone. That will be the end of game number 2, and now CSU is going to put themselves onto match point. And now we're only 1 game away from ending the regulatory season, as once again that shot count is oh so impressive. You're looking at 12 shots coming from Cleveland State, 7 from the likes of which of Cornell College. And what is most impressive coming from Cleveland State is that once again every single goal that they had came off the pass play.
Yep, and you can see it in the stats. It's one of the most beautiful things in any sport, let alone Rocket League, when you can see the assist chart is equal to or highly, it's in a high percentile. Anything above 75%, you have some of the best teamwork I've ever seen. If you can score 100% of it off of the pass, then boom. Like, you're showing me something right now, Cleveland State. It's not because Cornell College is not equal to the task. If anything, they have shown us that they have shining moments. They are a team that is well improved. But the aspects of Cleveland State's game, especially in their own defensive zone, where the foundations of these pass plays are starting many times, multiple times, we've seen it exhibited over and over again. A short pass in their own zone leading to a transition goal. So Cleveland State, keep it up. This is the type of play that we want to see. This is the type of play that you see in champions.
Absolutely, and they have the makings of champions for sure, as now we are underway in Game 3. What could be the last game of the series, again, not being definitive, just saying it could be, as we are now 30 seconds in, and it is match point for CSU.
Oh, quick, short pass. Daddy just missed
You
it.
said doo-doo.
You know what? I said it too fast, and I do apologize. Do I have the caster card where I can butcher names? Yes, I don't like to do it, though. I don't like the Daddy D do it. Never mind.
No, I would also like to apologize for my immaturity, but I couldn't help myself.
Well, ooh, there's a first goal for Cleveland State.
Oh my goodness. But to start things off, Sways again coming out of the corner pass from Carson, able to find one another, and that's just keeping the passing play streak alive for CSU. They got 6 passing plays converted to goals in the previous game in Game 2, and now they're keeping that same streak alive here in Game 3, starting off with another goal off of the assist.
Ooh, demo plays potential. See Cipricate dive in deep. Carson on the back end will tank out the 3rd rotation. Here comes Sways. Control from their own corner. Great patience. Little bump on the front. Carson brings it down for a 2nd goal.
Yep, that they do. And this was a pretty, to say the least. I mean, look at the aerial acrobatics there, their control. They were able to actually get the flip reset and elected not to use it. They just followed the ball right on down and was able to thread the needle between 2 defenders in order to get that one to go. And now CSU, once again, have a 2-goal lead.
Gotta give credit where credit's due, and Sways made a large portion of that goal happen. And the patience that was not only exuded, but the finesse to capture the ball off the ground, create the perfect pop-up. Cleveland State are definitely a squad. Cornell College, not done though. Here comes T-Girl Sunshine from the midfield. Maybe a little bit of frustration sinking in as that miss, very uncharacteristic of their gameplay. This will be a shot towards the net. Cipricate, I think, was looking to jam it home. Instead, ended up maintaining control from side to side.
Yeah, and actually a pretty big defensive demo coming from Cornell as well, just to get Carson out of the way. Carson has been the backline hero for Cleveland State. They have been what I like to call the hustle player. They're not often, in the highlight reels, or, they're not even getting the biggest stat line, but they are getting what I call hustle points. They're the ones that are getting the interceptions. They're the ones that are getting centered passes. They're getting clears, and they're also getting the demos. Keep in mind that you don't get any points. You don't even get on the stat card for your demolitions, and because of that, Carson, to me, is an unsung hero for CSU.
Well, once again, we do see CSU for passes, maintaining patience. One end of the pitch to the other. They've also maintained that team play stat that has been so relevant throughout. It seems like every single goal has been assisted upon. And even in this game, looking at 2 players, 2 goals, 2 assists. Well, we do have that 90 seconds left, and for Cleveland State, it could just continue to be a dominating statement. Not like that. It's T-Girl Sunshine from the midfield to cut the lead in half.
And this was, again, a very quick play coming from that midfield line. T-Girl Sunshine stepping up to answer the call to put that one into the back of the net, and now put themselves that much closer to equalizing against CSU when they need it most here in Game 3. In order to keep the series alive, they have got to find one more, and they have just about a minute to do it.
Chance. To move the ball forward. Sways. Control. As the midfield. Flux, though, is there to take the ball down. Such control. bump in front, and this is Cleveland State all the way. Check this out. It's pretty.
Oh, absolutely. Again, we have seen these plays time and time again, but that was just perfect execution. I mean, the ball was going to go in regardless, but the fact that Carson was there to lead the charge, put the shot on, and then get the bump, and leaving it for an absolute dunk from their teammate, again, just shows how much of an asset that Carson really is to this lineup. And again, they just fit perfectly well within this team. And now Cornell College able to answer back almost as quickly. With 38 seconds left to go, Cornell is not done.
One of those not so fast, my friend. Credit again, T-Girl Sunshine coming through. And in all honesty, one of my favorite players in the conference, just due in part to the fact if there is a loose ball in the midfield or coming through the midfield, it always seems like it is a sunshiny day for ball possession. Now, 22 seconds left on the clock. Cornell College looking to push. Flux quite literally pushing. That'll be a ball on the goal line. Carson just gets it to the side. Dangerous confines as they're just trying to survive. But another ball straight on in. Quick passes and reciprocate. You want to talk about selfless? That is a brilliant play. Nady Dito, can they get it down for Flux? Not quite. And they will see the game ended. Cleveland State, the sweep. And every single goal, Cap, assisted upon.
And again, no big surprise. They were able to do it in game 2, and then they broke it out to game 3. And that's exactly what you need to have going into the playoffs, and then maybe even into the finals, is that synergy. Being able to find your teammates anywhere on the pitch, being able to not only connect on the pass plays, but then convert it into goals. And that's what we have seen so many teams really struggle with, not just getting the passes, but converting the pass plays. And CSU, they've managed to accomplish that time and time and time again. And I think they are going to be a huge threat going into the playoffs.
A huge threat. I think they're the threat. I know you mentioned earlier Miami of Ohio was a team that you felt could go all the way. If I had to take a pick, Cleveland State, not only the smash mouth attitude, but the way that they get each other involved on every portion of the pitch. It's remarkable to me, Cap. You throw in on top of it, you remember back in the day, more often than not, freestyle plays, twisty-turny mechanical plays were utilized to flex when you were able to get a gigantic goal. Like you were using that to beat 2-3 people and get the goal yourself. Now with the onset of pro players like Zen, we're seeing more often than not mechanics are being used to beat 1, maybe 2 people and get the ball to your teammate so they can score with a higher percentage. The fact that Rocket League has not only shifted to a more selfless tone, but Cleveland State University seems to be on top of that is monumental to me. It's mind-boggling to me. So they're definitely a team that I see going the distance, but then it wouldn't surprise me if we end up seeing them at LAN finals. And speaking of which, folks, one more time, the LAN MEC finals are coming up. Do you want to compete like those MEC players? Well, that's what the Unified Gaming Fan Fest at Illinois College is going to be all about. Not only will you see MEC gameplay on the stage at its finest, the commentators going wild throughout, you will also get the opportunity to get involved yourself while you are at it, to play the games that your favorite competitors are getting involved in, and even enjoy some of the tournaments that pop up. So get your tickets now. I'm double checking here. Do we have an exclamation point in the chat? It looks like no, but you want to use exclamation. Yes, Spring Championship in the chat. There it is. I found it. But you want to get your tickets now. Get involved with the Unified Gaming Fan Fest hosted by Illinois College and see your favorite teams of the Midwest Esports Conference competing live for that finals. Who knows? Maybe both of these teams will will be there. I don't doubt. I'm pretty sure that Cleveland State's going to be there. But we're going to be right back after a quick break. We are going to bring in one of these Cleveland State players and one last interview before we send you off and send the regular season off. Well, folks, one more interview for it all, and it is Midwest Esports Conference action. It is Sways. Kendo Slice alongside Captain Atsoka. Sways, I gotta ask how you're feeling. I'm noticing in the chat, though, not only do we have a brilliant amount of parents involved, it seems, for this CSU squad, so shout out to the parents, but we got Cipricate and Carson kind of having a little bit of a tiff going on. Cipricate says Sways over Carson. Carson asks, "Why do you bully me?" Is there some? Would you like to maybe say something to this, or is this a valid argument that Cipricate is making?
For sure. Yeah, I'm just honestly better than Carson every way. There's no questions asked. But in all honesty, no, it's just friendly banter. Chemistry is going super well today for some reason. I don't know. We're just meshing so well together, and things are just feeling good between the three of us.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that we really noticed was that point exactly, is that your entire team is meshing insanely well. As a matter of fact, had probably one of the highest pass percentages or assist percentages that I think I've seen in the entire MEC. So I gotta ask, how is it that you're able to connect with your teammates on these pass plays, and then not only connect on the passes, but convert them into goals so much that it is higher than any other team that we have seen in the MEC?
I guess the best way to put it is we just have so much faith in each other. None of us are the designated shooters, strikers, things like that. It's more of just, you know, our main goal is to try and win, and we'll do whatever it takes to win. And if that means passing between each other and just hitting the backboard as much as we can, doing whatever we need to do. But yeah, it's that.
Okay, and now going forward, of course, you know, after going through the Spring Clash, you've already gotten an experience at LAN. You got to meet these people live and in person. You got to talk to them. You got to play against them. And then inevitably, you won. CSU was able to take the Spring Clash. So I got to say, going into the playoffs and then possibly the finals, who do you think is going to be the biggest threat standing in your way?
Honestly, the biggest threat, it's still probably multiple teams like Miami and ONU. They're pretty evenly matched up there as our rivals. Other than that, I don't see anyone else being much of a challenge. Just like Sit was saying in his last interview, honestly, if you put anyone against us, at the end of the day, we're still going to come out winning. And we've proven that thus far. So.
Very much so. Plus, you've already proven it in a live environment. Speaking of the live environment, potentially coming up, how many parents? I see a lot of the parents support on the chat side. How awesome is it going to be to have those parents potentially there supporting Midwest Esports Conference finals? You're looking forward to that? Were you able to experience that at the Spring Clash, or are we going to bring more folks around the second time?
We didn't bring anyone for Spring Clash in terms of family members to watch and stuff, because it was 6 hours away. And as for the next LAN, probably not.
But in reality, it's just them just being in the stream. Carson's parents, Sip's parents individually, and my parents alone. Like, my dad was literally behind me in the other room watching the live game, and he was on his phone, like, typing in chat, I think. And all my other friends too in chat. It just means a lot. It means a lot that there's people watching for us.
We tout the experience, and definitely looking forward to potentially getting to see everybody who is able to be there at the Midwest Esports Conference Finals in Jacksonville, Illinois. Sways, congratulations on what was a wonderful season. 5-1. You all go into the three-way tie that ends up with y'all in the 3rd seed, but we already know y'all don't care who you have to go through. You're going to plan on going through them all. Congratulations again, and thank you for your time. We'll see ya.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Cap, I love it. I absolutely love the support of the parents, what we get to see on a regular basis. It's one of my favorite things, both about unified live events as well as just collegiate esports in general. The way that parents do get behind their family, behind the teams, behind the players, and just round of applause to everybody in the chat showing off the support throughout. It's definitely felt, especially during an interview just like that one.
Oh, absolutely. And what's even funnier still is that I'm 30 years old, getting ready to finish up my semester of college as well. And, you know, my mother also likes to frequent the chats on any broadcast that I happen to be a part of. So, you know, it doesn't just involve the players. You know, the parent support also transcends to casters, commentators, everybody that's involved. So, again, the parent support is so surreal, thinking that, you know, when I was a lot of these players' ages, you know, this wasn't even a thing. So to coming to now where you're getting full support from the parents who are now becoming fans just like we are. And you love to see esports come full circle in that regard.
Indeed, indeed. And well, I hate to see it all end, but all good things must come to an end. And for the Midwest Esports Conference, the regular season is over. The bracket for playoffs of interest. Why? Because you see the far left, Illinois College, Cornell College, Cleveland State University, Simpson College, Miami of Ohio, and Ashland University. Those are going to be the matchups that you will not want to miss, and they are taking place tomorrow on this stream. Or not tomorrow, excuse me, next week. Wow, I'm getting everything date-wise crossed today. So just to make sure everybody knows, the finals, April 6th and 7th, that will be on LAN. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow, chances are that's League of Legends action. You don't want to miss that either on this channel. But next week, Illinois College, Cornell College, that first round of the playoffs is going to be played. That is what you don't want to miss. And you know what? Take me out, Cap, because I'm the one capping today.
Well, there you have it. That is going to end the regular season here at the Midwest Esports Conference, and all that remains is the playoffs and the finals. So be sure to stick around. Don't forget to try and get your tickets to go to LAN to see these teams live. Don't forget !Spring Championship to get your tickets. But with that, that is going to wrap up a wonderful regular season here at the MEC, and we cannot wait to go to the playoffs. We'll see you then.